But is it hard, though? Intimate relations with another human being is one of the most beautiful and most human things that you can engage with as in the human experience on this planet Earth. Now, if you are the type of person watching this video and you are somebody who is, not able to do that, you are either a teenager, which is that's normal and okay. You guys are awkward as hell and don't know what you're doing socially yet. That's fine. And if you are not a teenager and you are in college or older and you still haven't gotten laid, learn how to make new friends first. That's generally the first stepping stone you kind of need to do to be able to get laid. You need to be able to make friends and get people to like you as a person. But tangent aside, story time, shall we? Um, God, the ADHD really be hitting today now, ain't it? So back when I lived in LA, and I think I still do technically, depending on when this video comes out, um, I had to do away games. Away games in this scenario is basically my roommates say, "Hey, stop bringing bitches over here to fuck. We don't want strangers in our home." And I live with two women, and they're just generally they want the space for themselves. So you know what? I completely understood. So I started prioritizing people to who had a room that I could sleep in overnight with them. And that's been or people who make enough money from their day job to squirrel a hotel room or go halvesies on one at the very least. And that's all well and good. And I met somebody who, for all intents and purposes, very fun. But, you know, almost immediately I got a sort of uncanny valley vibe. And the question, and I did not understand why. I was just like, something about it, like, I triggered my fight or flight. Sex was good, times were fun, decent conversationalist, nice person, like her a lot, but something was just off. And while I didn't figure out what that was until later, I did there was an event that happened that very much made me feel very uncomfortable, and this is probably the wildest, you know, event that ever happened to me while I was doing the deed. I don't know if my ego should be boosted by this or if I should be scared, but I want to talk briefly about dissociative identity disorder, a chronic mental illness that causes people to have multiple distinct identities or alters. One of my past collaborators, who I will not name just because I do not want to dox people's medical information, has it. So Evan, you must be asking, like, why are you bringing up uh dissociative identity disorder? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I needless to say, DID not see what happened coming. So as we are doing the deed and she's riding, I um her voice changes, mood changes, there's a different vibe. I'm like, okay, she's feeling it, she's doing it. And then she looks down at me and says, "Oh, you guys rarely get to meet me." And now I'm not the smartest cookie in the cookie box, but thankfully past experiences in life too told me, I'm like, "Do you have multiple personality disorder?" And she was like, "Yeah, I do. I have DID." And I'm like, who am I currently inside of right now?" And she says it like her name. And in the middle of this engagement, I start asking questions. I'm just like, is this okay? Like, do you consent to this? Like, what is like I don't know. Cause it's like remember, this is a fundamentally different consciousness that just appeared in the middle of sex. So I am, understandably, a little uncomfortable. And she starts talking, like, she said, oh, by the way, while so and so doesn't like being slapped during sex, I do, so you can do that. And I'm like, all right, cool, bet. But because I'm into weird shit, I'll fully admit. But I asked, questions, and she's like, "Oh, my soulmate is this such and such person, but due to reasons I'm not, who is the alter of this other person, who she had talked to me, who like also she had told me about this person. I didn't realize that the other person had DID, and that one of her alters was in a relationship and soulmate thing with another alter, and it's just, oh god." So it made needless to say, I texted my roommate after all of this occurred and told her, listen, tomorrow morning, because by this point it was like 1 o'clock in the morning and the trains had stopped running, so I had no way to get home. I texted Ellen, my roommate, hey, listen, dog, send me a mean ass text tomorrow. I need it out. Get me the fuck out of here tomorrow at noon. And to homegirl's credit, she fucking did it. She said she was going to start throwing my shit out. She obviously wasn't, but it gave me an excuse to get out because I was supposed to stay there for 2 days, like 2 nights. I I couldn't. That I was like a little eked out. Fast forward a week, I started thinking of I was like talking to her still kind of. I'm very much doing a slow roll ghosting at this point, but I don't want to do it immediately. I'm leaving the state in X amount of time. Like I don't want to be that much of a dickhead. But like I'm obviously uncomfortable. And what happens is that a week after this happens, I'm calling some family, catching up. It's the weekend, you call your family on Sundays and shit. And I call my godmother, my Aunt Shell. And we start talking, and she's yapping on about work or some shit, and my mind starts drifting because ADHD. And then I think, oh my god, that the person I was fucking sounds exactly like my godmother. Wait a second. My godmother is like super duper skinny now because she got like, gastric. But I remember when she was big, she gave the best hugs. And I love my godmother immensely. She's the best person, one of the best people on the planet. But she was a big girl. And I'm like, oh my God, homegirl is built like my fucking aunt. Same like talking cadences and everything. And that was when I realized why I always was eked out and why my skin kept crawling every time like we were like interacting, like physically. And it was at that moment I realized I cannot she's fun. She knows what she's doing. She like it's a great time, sure. Oh man, it's that was probably the most jarring, experience I've had thus far. Now, make no mistake, at time of recording, I'm still a single man. I'm going to be going to another part of the country soon, and I'm going to continue being a man whore. But like this was certainly a story for the ages. So that's that.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at himedia.gg/discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at himedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.